The Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our ServiceNow series, where we interview the best and brightest of the industry to share their story, advice, and views on the exciting world of ServiceNow and digital transformation.
You're listening to the Alldus podcast ServiceNow series. Our guest today is Arun Sondhi. Arun is the Global Head of ServiceNow Business at Globant. Arun, welcome to the show.
Thank you, JP.
So Arun, let's start with yourself, please, as we do with all of our guests. Could you give us a little bit of an overview of your background in technology and a summary of your career journey from where you started, some of the roles you've held along the way, and what's led you to where you are now as the global head of the ServiceNow practice for Globant?
Of course, JP, and thank you for having me in your podcast. Myself, Arun Sondhi. I'm based out of the US right now. I have been working in IT space for more than 2 decades. To be precise, around 26 years. I've been in the IT industry, worked in various technologies, various areas, started my career as a web developer, moved into the service management industry using BMC Remedy BMC products, and grew up and caught up on the ladder and learned new technologies, new areas like ServiceNow. And over past 12 plus years, I've been dedicatedly working on ServiceNow, learned the ways and the technology areas which ServiceNow has added. From my roles perspective, I have driven a lot of things from architecting the solutions, managing the platform, building the platforms from scratch for very large organizations, very complex implementations, built up a practice from scratch, driving the practice from growth, from sales, driving front-ending on the sales, building a new marketing strategy, new sales strategy, how to drive growth, how to build more practice, and do more customer acquisitions or customer relationships as part of it. And that's what I do on a day-to-day basis as of today as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So I want to get your take on the industry vision as a whole, the combination of ServiceNow utilizing AI, the market trends, and that will then lead us into talking about the transformational journeys and roadmaps that you work on with Globant. But before we talk about the work with Globant, just to set the stage on the conversations you're having with senior leaders and businesses across all industries, what are you seeing? What are the market trends?
So definitely market trend is all about AI, right? Automation, AI, how to take more benefit of the technology which we have in front of us, right? Or the technologies which is being used, how to use that technology more efficiently. Or if I can use that word, how I can abuse my technology to do more work for me and more efficient work for me, and reducing more as much as possible of human error related to that, and not dropping the ball as much as possible wherever it is giving me very basic tasks to automate. And with the Gen AI and AI, which is bringing in more value to the ServiceNow platform with ServiceNow's Gen AI, it is helping and it is driving the technology adoption leaps and bounds. And we are seeing that traction, the benefit any organization wants to take as part of it, is exploring more and more onto the Gen AI, not only primarily taking the benefit of ServiceNow's Gen AI, plus other Gen AI tools or the functionalities which are available in the market, how to integrate and how to get more out of it to serve their internal employees or to their customers related to that. And every conversation wherever we are having, everybody is looking at how do we, in their transformation journey, what are the AI topics? What are the use cases? How to add that to for their type of business to bring in that values. Mm-hmm. Any proposal we are working or going to the customer, talking about how they everyone is coming back and asking the same question. what are the use cases which will give me benefit knowing my environment, my customer, my business, where AI or Gen AI can add value to us. So that is the area where we are focusing more and more related to that, driving more user experience perspective, adaptability can become better, and not getting into the generic AI features, but tailored made for their business and their environment specific.
Yeah. So when you think of the conversations that you're having and your team are working with Globant partners and customers, what are some of the standout conversation pieces? Are there any recent examples that you were particularly excited about combining ServiceNow's capabilities and utilizing the aspects of Gen AI within the ServiceNow platform? Any recent stories or client journeys that you could share with us?
There are everywhere, right? And my part when I say right is every conversation related wherever I'm involved, I bring it back to ServiceNow, whether it's a ServiceNow related conversation or not, as part of it, right? So the reason discussion or the use case which I want to bring is the area which we are exploring related to citizen developers, right? ServiceNow has a concept of citizen developers where you can leverage more bigger community within your organization to do the development and submit it for your ServiceNow platform owners to review how this will be value add, and not wait for a longer time to get this developed and feature available as part of it. So based on that, those conversations which are there where platform owners are looking help, that how AI can add value and make things quicker and faster for my citizen developers, because citizen developers are not the people who will day in, day out working on ServiceNow. They need hand support from that perspective, and how AI and Gen AI can look in their code and review their code or provide them guidance that what syntax or which feature to use better, whether this can be through a flowchart, or this can be through a flow designer, or this should go into a studio and start working from there. So something like that they are looking at, and that's where the area we are exploring, that how to make citizen developer life more easier as part of it.
Thank you for that, Arun. And I think that's a good segue into the next topic, which I wanted to cover with you, which is Globant's ServiceNow Studio. Can you explain what that is, what the goal and objective of creating the ServiceNow Studio was, and walk us through some of the successes since it's launched, and how is it benefiting both your ServiceNow team internally, but in turn the customers that you're serving?
Before I jump into Globant ServiceNow Studio, about its practice, we call it as Studio more. That's a concept which is there within Globant, right? So I'll take a step back about Globant. The Globant is an IT services company, but little bit of a different flavor. They come more on a part from driving the benefits, not as a traditional IT organization or a IT services company, or driving from the perspective of what the out-of-box features only provides from a platform. What Globant brings in is to solve the business problem, focus on how to get customer problem or how to resolve a customer problem better than just looking at technology, and keeping more into the process improvement and benefits related to that. And from that concept only, where we are coming from the ServiceNow Studio, that is what we are driving related to that. Like implementing ITSM, if you go and ask in the market, yes, anybody can do it, right? It's not a rocket science. But how to implement ITSM or CSM or HRSD, more bringing in more flavor for customer need, customer business requirements, meeting their functionalities, right? Not asking the customer to change their way of working to meet what ServiceNow brings out of box. That's where the differentiation which we bring as part of Globant Studio, ServiceNow Studio. And that, keeping that in mind, it has been created, and we have been growing very rapidly, growing very, very fast pace, and delivering a good value to our customers as part of it. And we have been growing at very fast pace for last a couple of years. We have been a partner of ServiceNow, and it has been a good journey for us till now.
Indeed, it has. And I know from speaking to the people working at Globant and then some of your end user customers, you guys have done a tremendous job.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
So let's stay on the topic of growth then, because I know your role, look, multifaceted. You're shaping the strategic direction of the practice. You're also working with your team of leaders in different regions. Part of it is to plan your growth and focus on attracting talent. So staying on that topic, why should new talent or people listening in the ServiceNow community join Globant, and how will it be helpful to their career growth when they look at what their next chapter would be?
That's a great question. And that's what we tell to all our talent wherever we start working with them, that continuing from my answer about the studio, right? We bring that cutting edge technology, the thought process of every talent or every person who joins Globant. We call them as Globers. We don't call them as resource. So every Glober who joins us or who's working with us, their first transformation starts is decoupling them just from their thought process of technology only, thinking more on what drives customer success, what is where their focus is related to customer, what should we think from user experience perspective when we are implementing anything. If we can talk about simple as incident management to be implemented, how you will look from your perspective, right? More and more learning opportunities beyond this, like when you are implementing an AI, right? Right now, most of the people focus on what ServiceNow provides an AI as a capability, but there are multiple AI tools in the market. What differently they are doing and why we can't bring that capability within ServiceNow to give more advanced features or advantage to our customers as part of it. That's where the training comes, the benefit comes of outside beyond ServiceNow. Definitely ServiceNow is there, certifications we focus on. Plus, we push them to learn, train in other areas also, so that their vision can become more wider and bring in as part of it. So that's what the advantage which comes for them, and they can grow from the growth perspective. We have multiple paths within that. They want to grow in the technical part. We have all the paths related to that, growing in the highest level of the technical. It's not only from certifications, definitely ServiceNow CTA, CMA is there. But beyond that, also they can go looking into as a chief architect of entire infrastructure, entire cloud platform to drive from this. The other area is from the management perspective also, they can continue to grow, learn from starting as a business process consultant, learn the process, technology, how to implement, how to migrate, and start driving from delivery director, delivery manager, and on top of it, driving improvements and benefits as part of it.
I want to finish, Arun, on some topics that you and I were talking about pre-recording, which is stuff that you're particularly passionate about, advice for people at different stages of their career. As somebody who's started and worked their way up at every step of the ladder, you're now in a global role. I know you spend time advising people who are looking to get into senior leadership, but you also invest in the junior and early people on what advice you would offer to them. So if you can answer the question in two parts, when you're speaking to people who are at that mid to senior level and they want to make the step up into leadership, what do you tell them to focus on? Part two, then, when you're speaking to the cohorts of new graduates, people who are just entering the ecosystem, what advice do you share with them?
The first thing which is there is, which I advise them, is to keep their vision focused, build more strategic thinking of bringing more learning from the customer perspective, where you are working, how to collaborate with various technologies, various areas. Nothing is perfect in this world. Not a one technology today. Everything is evolving. So definitely be open, learn from other areas and how you can bring in and make your things. for your customer better. And keep your eyes and ears open for new ideas, which will give you more learning, provide more guidance that what can be next steps, what others are doing in the industry, and how to bring that back, right? Keeping a customer happy, keeping your team happy will definitely add value for your delivery perspective. Then moving into the new graduates, right? What all things they should do on that. One is be curious to learn new things, what is coming in. When you come out of college or you start your career, you think you know a lot, but these are very basic things, right? In the practicalities, what you have learned and what is on the ground, it happens. There is two different streams, two different worlds from that perspective, right? Learn, be open when you come, that how things will work, what are the different areas which are there. Don't be afraid of that. If this goes wrong, what will happen? This is the time where you can, if you fall, you have a time to stand up and learn and start again. From that perspective, it's nothing wrong in that. Everybody fails, everybody learns and grow from there, right? And definitely build good relationship, good network from the company you're working for, company whom you are working. Relationships matters, and in long term it helps getting your guidance, helping you in your various areas. And don't shy away from helping as well wherever required, right? Whether you are getting benefited or not, don't shy away from that. So that would be my advice on the both sides.
Arun, thank you so much for coming on today and talking to us. I know we've been talking about doing this for quite some time now, so I'm delighted we finally got you on the show, and it didn't disappoint. Anyone who's been following Globant's track record and success in the ServiceNow space can clearly see you guys are having tremendous growth, and it sounds like it's going to continue that way for the year ahead. So we wish you, the team, and everyone at Globant the best of luck in the months and years to come, and look forward to having you back on the show again in the near future.
Thank you, JP. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.